Hey guys, this is Danny. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'll be going over if ender pearls are good in the Hive. So I have a bunch of questions and stuff that I have to go through today to answer the question of how good are pearls actually on the Hive. But before this video starts, make sure, if you haven't, to like the video because it really helps out a ton and it's super easy and you know, it's just right there. And also subscribe because I have many more things to come on the Hive and content and live streams and cool stuff for that. So yeah, let's get right into today's video. So basically what I am going to do is I'm going to be testing out a bunch of different things inside of the two game modes which pearls are used in, which would be Skywars and Treasure Wars. Just going to see if they're different and a bunch of stuff. So the first thing that I'm going to be testing is going to be the damage that pearls do. I will be testing it with a bunch of things such as how much they do with does armor make a difference? Does protection armor make a difference? Do golden apples make a difference? Does feather falling make a difference? Just a bunch of that stuff. Then after that, I will be going on to how useful are they in the game mode? How do you obtain them? How rare are they? How useful are they in the game mode itself? And that's pretty much all for now, but gotta get pearls first. So the first thing that I'm going to be testing is if ender pearls actually make a difference, or armor make a difference on ender pearls. Obviously ender pearls do, but let's see. Oh, I threw two. Whatever. Let's see if armor actually does anything. So as you can see, with diamond armor, it does 2.5 hearts of damage, and if you throw 2 of them, it does 5 hearts of damage, which is definitely a lot. Obviously you wouldn't want to throw 2 of them, but it does 2.5 hearts of damage. Now I'm going to take off my armor and see how much it does from there. So my guess would be the same, but I guess you never really know. So that one, wait a minute, hold up, maybe should have waited for my health to regen. So now without armor, I'm going to throw a pearl up and see if it does the same amount of hearts, whether it's 2.5 or if it actually does more. And it does do the same amount of damage, so that does not actually make a difference. However, I want to see if protection makes a difference. I would assume not, but protection is weird on the Hive, so, you know, maybe it does. Maybe it makes you take no damage. It's worth a shot, you know? And, you know, 2.5 hearts. Not a surprise. Oh, I have protection 1 with iron boots. I mean, feather falling. So now, the next thing I'll be testing is feather falling 1 boots. So let's see if feather falling actually is a difference maker. I don't know. It might be with pearls. It is. Feather falling makes pearls better. You guys see that? Feather falling. Feather falling actually is a use. I know. You never thought so. It makes you do a heart less of damage on pearls. Isn't that cool? Feather falling, it might actually be worth like wearing like protection helmet and then like diamond and then wear feather falling boots down there. Is that worth it? It only does a half less of armor. I don't know. Is it worth it? It might be. Honestly, it might be. I don't know how severely, but it might be. The final thing I'll be testing of fall damage has to do with a golden apple. And that is because golden apples give you a resistance. And the resistance, no. Resistance doesn't do anything. Only the feather falling boots. But that's still pretty cool that feather falling actually has a use. I didn't know that. I usually just don't care. But, you know, they're good with pearls, so that's cool. So the next thing I'll be testing is how rare are they and how useful are they. So on Skywars, that you can get them on island chests, like I did with this one. You can also get them from the mystery chest in the middle. Not always, but they're semi-common. And also can get them from the ender chests over there in the middle. So those are the 3 ways you can get them. You can't get them from mining anything. But they do spawn probably, I don't know, about half the time. Maybe a quarter of the time on the island. Actually, I'm going to check that. I'm going to check how many times they spawn on the island. So, you know, I'll do that after this. But that's basically the places you get them. And the biggest reason that you want to use them in Skywars is not actually to escape people. You know, honestly, now that they have crumbling cobblestone, that's the best way to escape people. I don't know if I have any. But what pearls are good for is clutching. And clutching is really useful. The only problem in Skywars on some maps in Skywars is there are some maps like this one that aren't great for clutching. Like that island. Not amazing. Also, minimum play height is a slight problem. So if this is going to be a hard island to clutch on. I'm not that good at it. I don't know if I'll be able to, but it's worth a shot. It's definitely worth a shot. Nope, I couldn't do it. But, you know, that's the thing about Skywars. It's hard to clutch on Skywars. It's a lot easier to clutch on Treasure Wars. But, so pearls are good for that. Like, clutching on top of a different island. But they're not good at clutching on the bottom of the island. Because these islands are just really hard to clutch on unless you're, like, ridiculously good at. I know there are people that are really good, but for the average player, the thing that these are best for is if you're being chased away and you get hit off and you clutch, like, on a tree or on an island. Those are the best two places to do it for that. But definitely on a tree or an island, that's a lot more likely than down there. So they are useful, for sure. But that's that. I don't know how to end that. So after checking on all of the islands, I have come to the conclusion that I've gone through all of them and checked. Out of all 36 chests, there were a total of 9 ender pearls, which would make it a 25% chance of basically, out of all 36 chests, there was a 25% of them did have an ender pearl, which I guess would make sense, you know, oof. That was an accident. I really wasn't paying attention. I'm going to leave that in there to show how dumb I am at this. I really did not mean to do that. I was looking at my other thing. And, okay. Well, okay. But, yeah, so basically, out of all of the chests, there were 36 chests, 25% of them had pearls. There were 6 islands that had 1 pearl in it. And there was 1 island that had 3 pearls on it. So it doesn't have to do with islands and stuff. It just has to do with the likeliness of the chest. So I assume there's a 25. In theory, 1 in 4 games you play will have a pearl on it. However, actually not really. No, 1 in 4 chests will have a pearl in it. Which means you have 3 chests on your island. So most likely, 50% of the time, actually a little bit more. So like 55% of the time, you'll probably have a pearl on your island. However, it's not guaranteed. It's about 55% of the chance, and 25% of the chests have pearls in Skywars. So I had a golden apple, and I'm going to test out the resistance on this one as well. I would assume it's the same, but you know, I would assume pearls are just natural throughout the entire thing. Yeah, they are. Resistance didn't actually make a difference on this. So basically, how pearls work in Treasure Wars, or they have to do with the shop, and they cost emeralds. I have them set to free just so I can do this, but they cost 3 emeralds, which is, it's not terrible. But in all honesty, I don't think pearls are that useful in Treasure Wars. Like, it's easier to clutch in Treasure Wars. Like, the islands are a lot easier to clutch on, and I have my treasure here, so it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot trying. No, I tried. So the thing about Treasure Wars with pearls is that they're not actually the most useful thing ever. Ender pearls aren't even as good as knockback boomboxes. Knockback boomboxes work well to get across islands, and they don't do pearl damage, which makes them a lot more useful. And it's a better thing for emerald to spend your emeralds on, even though it's more expensive. Also, snowballs are a better thing to spend your emeralds on, because snowballs are so good in Treasure Wars and just on the Hive in general. They're just really, really good. And in my opinion, in Treasure Wars, pearls are not as useful as Skywars because they do have other alternatives. Even though they're better for clutching, it may be useful to have one. But I think in Skywars they're a lot more useful because there's no other alternatives like a knockback boombox or something like that that could be a little bit better. So I guess in conclusion to all this is pearls on the Hive are pretty good. However, they're not amazing because there are other alternatives that basically are better than pearls, like knockback boomboxes inside of Skywars. I mean, not Treasure Wars, and also the crumble and cobblestone, which basically works as a getaway, which kind of makes pearls a little less valuable, even though they are valuable, just because crumble and cobblestone doesn't do damage, and it also does what pearls need to do. So pearls are good. Obviously, they're ender pearls. They're one of the most OP items. They're great for clutching, but honestly, for getting away and transporting, they're not even the best, because knockback boomboxes and crumble and cobblestone are kind of fulfill that void of what pearls used to be able to do before those blocks and things were a thing. So that's all for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash like and subscribe. Also, crush the bell to be notified for more other Hive stuff and videos and things, and sneak preview of one of my other videos. You know, if you stayed all the way to the end, I'm going to be doing a video about bows on the Hive and why they're Hive bows and they're just complicated. They're bows in the hive. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And I also have 2 other really cool things planned that will be coming really soon. Or if you're watching this like a month from now, then they're obviously out by now. But yeah, that's going to be all. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, guys.